Hi Beauty Marks, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name is Pamela Ricardo. This channel is all about embracing the scars that life has given us and now calling those our beauty marks. So today's episode is all about getting your life together and creating self-discipline. Without this, you can't level up. I think we restrain ourselves from self-discipline because of our outer chatter from friendships and obligations that really aren't getting us anywhere. These tips I have for you today will help you create a life that feels a lot less stressful. Because when we don't have self-discipline, number one, we experience anxiety, stress, and disappointment. Because when you don't know where you're headed, it's very stressful, especially when you've been given a few glimpses of where you think you could be. Have you ever seen your higher self in your mind and thought to yourself, wow, I feel so far from that, I'm not even going to reach for it? When we don't have self-discipline, anxiety looms over us. When we don't do what we're supposed to do that we know we should do, that's when we start to feel like you're letting yourself down, which can lead to depression. So having self-discipline is so key. It helps you feel like you have purpose in this life. It gives you something to look forward to every day. Having self-discipline will also give you a roadmap for your life. This way, when you know where you're headed, you know where you're not going to pit stop, right? You know who you're not going to hang out with. You know how you're going to spend your days, and you'll know how to spend your weekends. You deserve to live the life that you've always dreamed of. No matter how unattainable you believe this could be for you, you are no different from the people you admire the most. So these are my favorite 6 tips to help you work on your self-discipline so that you can finally enjoy life because you're working towards the life you know you deserve. You ready? Let's talk about it. Number 1, I want you to forgive yourself and others for just starting your journey now or for restarting your journey. I know for me, it used to eat at my self-esteem that I would start and stop. Life would hit me and then I'd just be like, oh my God, life just take over. Fine. This is just what it's going to be. And it would keep me in a slump because I was already feeling some type of way about life and decided to pick myself up and go for something, and then something else would happen. But that's life, you know? As soon as you decide to be great, doesn't more and more bad things start happening? Self-discipline is going to help you create habits that will make your life better. And the more you start to trust yourself and create discipline, the more you'll see your life start to change. So we're going to stop being sad about the past, stop being mad at ourselves that we took a break, stop being mad at ourselves for, it taking us a long time to get on track, and stop being mad at people that we think made this happen. We all have a lot of wounds. So the first thing that we need to do to help create self-discipline is to forgive ourselves and just start. Number 2. Write your goals down and have them everywhere. Write them in your phone, in the notes section. Put it as your screensaver. This is my dream life. Put the picture of what that looks like. Make a collage. There's too many resources out here right now for us to not have some kind of vision board around us at all times. Because every time you pick up that phone, you'll look at that. And that will inspire you to do whatever you need to do for the day. Whenever you walk in the kitchen in the morning to have your cup of coffee, write down on a piece of paper what that dream life is to you. This month, I'm going to make $7,000. That could be your immediate goal for the month. Write that down every single day. You'll, throughout the day, start to find ways to actually make that happen. I'm telling you guys, you don't hear all this stuff on YouTube about, manifestation for no reason. The junk is real, you guys. Whatever you say you really want and you see it in your mind and you put it down on paper with your hand, you will bring it to your life. Number 3, you need to have a top 3. This has been my game changer. The top 3 goes along with your goals. The top 3 is just small little things you're going to do today. These 3 things are what you're going to do today that are going to help you inch closer to your goals. That's what the top 3 is. Just 3 things you're going to do today. I don't care if it's as small as you need to go to Michael's and buy a whiteboard to write the top 3 on. That is a small goal that will help you with your bigger goal, right? So it's not about trying to achieve the big goal today or by the end of the week. It's about doing small things every single day to get you to your goals. We call those SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. So if your goal is to, let's say, lose 10 pounds, that's a great goal, right? But it's very vague. When do you want to do it by? And more importantly, why do you need to lose this 10 pounds? Maybe you want to go bike riding with your kids this summer, and that's super important to you. So losing the extra weight will help you have more energy. So how are you going to do it? That's the next part. I'm going to go for a walk every day at the end of the day. When the sun goes down and it's not too hot, I'm going to do a 45-minute walk. Awesome. How long do you have before you need this to be, accomplished? I'm going to do this in 8 weeks. Great. So now it's time bound. You have 8 weeks. Now what are you going to do that? That's where the SMART goals, this is where the top 3 comes in for that goal. You can say, my top 3 for today is going to be, I'm going to look online for some good recipes to cook for the week for the family that are healthy. That's one thing you can do for the day. I'm going to go for my 45-minute walk at 7 p.m. That's the second thing you're going to do for the day. And I'm going to drink a gallon of water. That's your third thing. That's your top 3 for your goals. Those are the things that have to get done today. They have to. These are non-negotiables. There's some stuff that we end up doing throughout the day that, let's be honest, they're just filler-ins so we don't do what we're supposed to do. Sometimes we'll take a nap once we figure out what we need to do because we just don't want to do it. But your top 3 is important because it's going to help you create and establish these goals for yourself that will help you feel more and more confident. Every day you keep your word to yourself is another day where you feel more confident about trusting yourself. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Learning to trust yourself and keeping your word to yourself. Number 4, you've got to keep track of your goals and where you are with them. Because if you don't keep track, you don't know where you're headed and you don't know where you're at. This will keep you accountable. Revisit the goal. So when you're doing that, you're doing a check-in every single day because you're writing down something about how you feel when you're writing in your journal. So if you're writing in your journal, you're saying to yourself, I'm really happy that I did A, B, C, D, and E. I forgot to do A, B, C, D, and E, but I'm gonna work on that. Every day you write these types of things, you start to remind yourself where your sore spots are and where your positives are. It's very important that we recognize what's great about what we do for ourselves and what we need to work on. Our positives and our negatives, we have to know both because we're not perfect. So at least at the end of the week when you do your weekly check-in with yourself, typically I do mine on Sunday, I get to see where I was doing great this week and what I kept up with. I worked out every single day. I did every single workout. I drank a gallon of water each day. I made sure I uploaded to my YouTube this week 3 times. But I did these things. These are all positives. Now, what were the negatives? I didn't get to take my dog out a couple of times the way I really wanted to, give her a nice long walk. I waited too late and it started raining. The other day I did eat something that wasn't in my refrigerator. The other day I did, you're writing down these things because it's not to beat yourself up, but these are things I know I need to work on. And we got to keep it real with ourselves. We got to keep it real. Because you can't lie to yourself about where you are in life, because if you want to be, moving up in the world and moving up in your life, it's something that you have to do. You have to keep it real with yourself. So hold yourself accountable to writing every single week what you've done well and what you can work on by following up and looking at your journals for the week. And on Sunday, write your journal about how the week was summed up, and that way we know for the next week what we're working on and what we're doing great at. And keep doing that, of course, great, and then work on what needs to be worked on. Number 5. So when we're creating self-discipline, it can be very isolating. You can feel alone, especially if you're not hanging out with people who are working on themselves like you're trying to. So this is the thing. How do you feel? How do you keep going when you look around and no one else is working on Saturday but you? I like to read books that keep me inspired, like Atomic Habits, The Purpose-Driven Life, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But not even just that. I'm a visual person. I will put on a biography on TV or some kind of like story movie that tells me someone's whole life story. I love stuff like that, like of Jennifer Lopez or Whitney Houston, or people who I know in life had a great discipline, and their great discipline got them to where they were. Beyonce, John Travolta. There's people who just have a discipline that's out of this world. Lady Gaga. And what's also cool about these people's lives is that you also get to see in their biographies the roller coaster of life. So you don't feel so isolated. Sometimes you need to see that everyone's journey isn't perfect. Because if we let the world tell us, if we let Instagram tell us everyone's life is grand, they don't have any problems. But watching biographies always makes me see the humble side of these celebrities and seeing that they had trials and tribulations, they felt alone, they had hard times, they bounced back. So watching biographies and learning about people who you admire, who have also had great self-discipline, and reading books on what you're trying to become better at, which I believe in this case is your self-discipline, of course will increase your own self-discipline. So that is my next tip. Study other greats before you. And last but not least, don't forget during this journey to reward yourself for your milestones. You know, when that 8 weeks is up and you've lost the 10 pounds or close to it, reward yourself. Because the more you reward yourself, the more you'll want to keep on accomplishing things, because you'll always get a reward for it. It's like a mental thing. If you say every Friday, I'm going to pay myself $50 out of my check and I can go do something for myself that's nice, like go get a massage, you're going to look forward to that day. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make you keep working and doing what you need to do. So always have a goal that is not so far out. Have a monthly goal so that at the end of that month, you feel like, wow, I deserve that because I really every single day did what I said I was going to do. So this video was about self-discipline because this is the only way we're going to see progress in our lives. You cannot be out here just winging it. We can't. Life is too short. You can't be around folks who are just winging it all the time either. You've got to have goals to catch. You've got to have a reason to wake up in the morning. Otherwise, life can be so daunting and tiring, and you'll be on a hamster wheel of life getting absolutely nowhere. So until you got a clear, concise idea of what that goal is, you're gonna just maneuver through life like you have no business. It's not about knowing the end of your life. It's not about saying, I'm gonna be the president of the United States. It's not about having this big, huge goal that makes you so overwhelmed that you don't even start. It's not about that. It's about having an idea of who you are. Who are you? Are you a philanthropist? Do you see yourself making a change in this world? Because we're all here for a reason. What is the change that you're here to make? That's what you need to think about. And then you figure out small steps from where you are today. Today you might be a bagger at Publix. You can say to yourself, okay, well, while I'm here, maybe I'll take a course to learn how to do this. And then once I get done with that course, we'll see if I can get a job in this field. It's the baby steps. It's not about going from bagger to CEO of a Fortune 500 company. It's not about that. It's about just figuring out the next best step for yourself. That's it. That's it. And the next best step, and then the next best step, and the next. We gotta stop trying to figure out Z when we're at B. Okay? So I hope this video helped. Like I said, you guys, this week, just figure out, who do you see yourself as? What are those small glimpses you see throughout the week that get you excited about who you really could be? I know you've gotten them before. That's why you're exhausted, because you're not there yet. There's something you've seen in yourself that you just haven't had a chance to reach yet. Well, time to reach for it, but with small baby steps. I hope you have a beautiful week. And remember, self-discipline is not a punishment. This is your key to becoming exactly who you know you're supposed to be. Because the more that you start to trust yourself, the more your confidence goes up. Because you gotta trust you more than anything or anyone in this world. All right, God has a life plan for you that's bigger than you ever could imagine. So whatever you're imagining right now, God's like, that's cute. He's got so much more for you. So you make the small move, he'll make the big move. He got you. He always has. Look at your track record. All right, believe in yourself, trust yourself, and work on that self-discipline. And I'll see you next time. Bye.